Welcome to Harlech Castle on a day where I certainly am taking the weather with me. So I'm in Wales, so what better way to take in this glorious 13th century castle. So Harlech Castle is one of four, well actually there are more castles, but four main castles in what is known as the Ring of Iron. And Edward I, in his reign of subduing the Welsh, built these strongholds. There was widespread discontent with English rule. Edward I imposed heavy taxes and ordered a muster of Welsh troops to fight for him in a military campaign in France. Unhappy with the impositions and nursing personal grievances about the loss of his ancestral land, Madog ap Llywelyn declared himself Prince of Wales and led a rebellion against the English. Harlech was soon under siege, cut off by the land. The castle's garrisons were able to hold out thanks to the supplies from Ireland being ferried directly to the Watergate. When Edward heard this seriousness of the revolt, he abandoned his French campaign and instead led his armies to Wales. And the Welsh guerrilla tactics and winter weather trapped Edward at Conway Castle over Christmas. Apparently he had only one barrel of wine to last him through Christmas. Shocking. By summer 1295 the king had reigned control. In July, Madog surrendered and was imprisoned for life in the Tower of London. So I have to follow a one-way system which apparently takes me up into one of the towers, and it's called the Prison Tower, so let's have a look. So there's a little model showing the castle in its heyday, and actually the sea comes right up to the bottom of the cliff. And if I show you a picture of Harlech Castle now, you'll see that the whole land is now occupied by houses and everything. So as the centuries have gone by, the tide has receded and the castle just stands on a hill now. Let's go into the main courtyard. Wow, this is rather impressive. So how do we get up? The young lad at the gate said it's a one-way system, so you have to follow through, but I'm actually seeing people are just milling about, wandering around. Whoa, look at this. For a castle built in the 1200s, it's certainly in really good condition. When you think Bodiam Castle, which we visited, was built in the 1300s, it seems to be in a worse condition than this. So yeah, the castle was built by Edward I in his campaign to subdue the Welsh. And there were more than four castles, but certainly four castles in what's known as the Ring of Iron. And this was Carnarvon, Conway, Beaumaris, which sits over on Anglesey, and Harlech Castle. And they were built as fortresses with the English inside to subdue the Welsh who were outside. He then went on to become the Hammer of the Scots, as we know, if you're familiar with Braveheart. It depicts that whole scenario there, you know, where the Scots couldn't decide who would be their king, so they asked Edward I to come in and adjudicate, and then he just, well, I'll do it. So I think what we'll do, we'll take the first hit, which is to go up to the ramparts. I think we go up that direction. So let's head that way and see what's what. Look at this. Room for a fireplace and a window. Quite a drop. Not sure what's down there. Whether they would have had a supporting floor here and the cells below. Perhaps that's what it was. So across here. A view of Harlech from the castle. My Airbnb is over there somewhere. So that's quite convenient. And that's the weather today. Has not been in my favour. So we go further up. Oh yeah, and out of the prison tower, I think I can actually walk all the way around. Let's do it. These stone walls are not very high. One accidental gust of wind and that's quite spectacular. So let's walk along to this tower here and to take a look at the inside of the castle from up here. It may well be that we can go into the keep. Yep, you can walk all the way around. That's quite wonderful. Can we go in? Let's have a look. Ah, you can't get up. Never mind. And there's a view of the, would it be the Irish Sea? I think it is, you know. So you've got Anglesey over there. I was over there yesterday taking a photo shoot of the lighthouse. And as you come in, Snowdonia is that way. And it's just been against me today. But it looks like it's clearing up over there. Anyway, back to the castle. So a square structure, 4 turrets on each corner. The keep is actually in the middle, and itself has turrets. So the other side of the castle, the actual town of Harlech, there is a location, and I think it's just up here on the hill. It could be over here. Oh no, that might be it. That's where I've got to go, where there's a... We'll do that in a minute. We'll go over there, we'll take a walk. I'll get my camera out. There's a wooden throne, King Tudor. And you can take a shot from that location with the roofs of these houses looking back at the castle. That will be wondrous. So before I continue with the tour, this is the location I was talking about, the vantage point. And we've got a wooden throne up here. Now I've not done this before, so it's all new to me. Let's go down here so as not to slip on the stones. So does this wall represent something? Oh, it's just a chair. However, we've got the throne, and in the distance their castle. Look at that. Is that majestic with the grey skies? I just have to take a couple of snaps of that, so I'll do that now, and then we'll continue with the tour. Oh wow, look at the shape of the courtyard with the footpaths. There was clearly a building and a wall here. What's left of it, maybe. Oh, it does make my legs go jelly. Anyway, I was going to look at the garden tower, wasn't I? Let's go and have a look. Oh, no entry. That doesn't work then. Oh, and you can't actually go up. They've got and quite right too, there's no support going up the stairs here. Do not climb the walls, okay? I heed the warning. Ah, that rain, it's so persistent. I don't know if I can go up. I'm going to follow my way around. It may well be that I'm walking into the keep now. So into the keep, which is a dead end. But we'll get a view. So guess what? I've got to go down these steep stairs. Shall we do it? Come with me. Oh, it is steep. I'm using the rope to steady myself. Let's take one last look from up here. Right, let's get downstairs. How many feet have trodden this apart from tourists? And I can spy my shoelaces loose. It won't serve anyone's purpose. And we're out into the light. I was thinking that the rooms perhaps weren't that big, but when you look at the lay of this could be a 2-bedroom, 2 up, 2 down terrace house in the UK. You know, front door, let's assume you're coming in here at the front door of your house. And you all know these houses. You walk into the front room, which is here, and there would be a staircase here going upstairs, and there might be a walkway here leading into a second room, a dining room and a kitchen. So this in itself could have been a room or private quarters. I don't know what it is, but I'm actually going to read up, and you can read with me. Maybe this tells us. Edward I deliberately took buildings from the court of the Welsh princes and reused them in his castles. Oh, so there you go. He's deliberately taking buildings from the Welsh and reconstructing them in his castles. I might be right in saying that Edward I was certainly a warrior king. He was out there fighting, but he was also, I think, a just king. He brought rule and law and order to certainly England, and then Wales when he subdued the Welsh, and Scotland, perhaps giving us the first taste of Great Britain or the United Kingdom kind of idea. I'm glad I came, you know. I wasn't sure, having traipsed around Snowdonia this morning, whether it would be worth coming here even though it's raining. It's one of these experiences that once you've done it, you potentially chalk it off your list, and the next time you revisit, you can take a slower walk round and experience it rather than doing a vlog. But I'm getting into this whole, can I share it with everybody? So a strategic strong point defending the estuary in the reign of Edward I's time. Isn't that majestic? This I found fascinating. All the architecture and the supports for the roof now lie on the floor. You can see all the remains of it all here. And here on my right, which I thought originally, are they cannonball? But they're not. They're actually rolled stones that were used in trebuchets. God. Are they cannonballs? No, let's have a look. Yes, indeed. These are stone cannonballs fired at the castle during the siege. The cannons weren't being used by the Britons. So these aren't Edward's secret weapon. And that's it in Welsh. Feel free to read it, because I can't. The more I look at the Welsh, it looks very Italian. I wonder if you could say that. Appellini, Magnolia, Caraghi. Which reminds me, there's a very lovely Italian restaurant in Carnarvon. So guess what I'm having for tea tonight? Right, let's go around the castle. Just take a little stroll around the outside. What way can I go? I think we can go this way. Let's just take a walk around the settlement. Oh, looks like it's clearing up weather-wise as well. So we've just done the tour of the top deck there. Let's go around the bottom deck. I do believe you can actually walk around the grounds, and I was going to do it. Look at this old stairway coming up from. So yeah, the picture depicts this was all covered in water, and the boats would moor up. So this would have been the walkway up from the water. It's looking rather splendorous out there now. Well, this is quite bizarre because that's Anglesey, and I'm quite surprised at how mountainous Anglesey is. I thought Snowdonia was the mountainous side. There's a lot there. Anyway, this isn't getting the walk around the castle done, is it? Okay, so what I know is that Harlech Castle was built on a rocky knoll close to the Irish Sea, which we've seen, and when Edward I built it, it's had a relatively modest cost of £8,190. That's in 1282. I'm going to do the math here and see if I can get a currency exchange rate just to see how much that was in today's money. So although he was subduing the Welsh, there were confrontations with the Welsh. There was Madog ap Llywelyn in 1294 to 95, tried to siege the castle, but it is relatively high up here on this rock, so I can't imagine that he was successful. However, in 1404, the castle fell to Owain Glyndŵr, who was a Welsh prince, and the English lost control of it. Now, Owain Glyndŵr, we know from the Horrible Histories song, whoa, 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 Owain Glyndŵr, Welsh hero of the hour. So the castle stayed in Owain Glyndŵr's possession and became his residence and military headquarters. During the 15th century, the old War of the Roses between the Yorkists and the Lancastrians, the castle was held by the Lancastrians for 7 years before the Yorkist troops forced its surrender. So it's seen a lot of battle. Edward I, the Welsh siege, the Welsh capture, the War of the Roses, And guess what? It also had an impact during the English Civil War, 1642. The castle was held by the French loyal to Charles, the forces that were loyal to Charles I. And it held out until 1647, when it became the last fortification to surrender to the Parliamentary armies. And that was it. So the castle is managed by Cadw. I can't even pronounce that. CADW. Is that an acronym for something? The Welsh Government Historical Environmental Service, as a tourist attraction. Wonderful stuff. UNESCO consider Harlech, with 3 others, Balmoral, Conway and Carnarvon, to be one of the finest examples of the late 13th century and early 14th century military architecture in Europe. When you're inside, it doesn't look that kind of formidable, but standing outside it, it's just immense and huge and invincible, to be quite honest. A formidable and invincible castle. I'm going to strain my neck looking up, spend all day looking up. Right, let's just walk around to the end here. So thanks for watching another Tudor Travels episode, Harlech Castle in North Wales. I'll put a What 3 Words link in the description in case any of you want to visit. And, leave a comment if you've got any further information, or if I got something wrong. Please correct me. I'm no historian. I'm just fascinated by this kind of stuff. And feel free to give the video a like and subscribe. That always helps the algorithm, pushes the video out to the wider world. Look at this. One last look. Bye for now.